Hello and welcome to Mason Cable Networks from the cinema. My name is Alex Dotson, and I'm going to be talking to you about the movies coming out in the Johnson Center Cinema this weekend. Now, some of you may already know about the JC Cinema, but for those who don't, it's one of Mason's best programs. Not only do you get to watch movies for free as a Mason student, but the movies tend to range from merely watchable to top quality filmmaking. Ultimately, my goal for this show is to provide you with a little preview into the week's upcoming films and hopefully persuade you to go enjoy the experience of watching a free movie on the big screen. Besides, all movies are better when they're free. Getting into it now, the pictures that will be showing this weekend are two very different films. On Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, The Dark Knight Rises is the holdover from last week. While on Saturday and Sunday night, Grease will have you singing and dancing along with this timeless musical classic. Since the decision of which film to see is too much to bear for one person's mind alone, let's talk about what you're going to be seeing this weekend. Batman, everyone's favorite not-so-superhero. The Dark Knight Rises kicks off 8 years after the events that occurred at the end of The Dark Knight. Harvey Dent is dead, and Batman has taken the burden of Gotham's blame and gone into hiding. This new bad guy, Bane, played by the increasingly awesome Tom Hardy, starts wreaking havoc on Gotham, both financially and physically. He forces Batman out of retirement to promptly break his back and send him off to some remote prison. Throw in subplots around Anne Hathaway's Catwoman, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's cop character, and Miranda Tate's mysterious executive role, and you have yourself one incredibly loud, drawn-out, and overly complicated mess of a film. Now, I'm just going to come right out and say this just to get it over with. Going against the clear popular consensus, I did not think The Dark Knight Rises was God's gift to Earth or even a good movie. If you compare it to the more entertaining Batman Begins or the masterfully crafted The Dark Knight, the concluding film in Nolan's Batman trilogy completely misses the mark. I recognize that Returns was going to have a hard time living up to the legacy of its fantastic predecessors, but even when viewed as a standalone film, it's just not very good. The story is so complicated that I couldn't even write a summary of the plot without confusing myself. Nolan tries too hard to fit everything in together and ends up literally boring me for almost 3 hours. Story aside, the characters rub me the wrong way as well, with a weak performance from Christian Bale's Batman and the literal absence of Michael Caine's Alfred for most of the film. Surprisingly, Catwoman turned out to be an unexpected pleasure. Since I hated Katie Holmes and Maggie Gyllenhaal as Rachel Dawes in the previous films, it was nice to have a strong female presence on screen. Finally, the bad guy I was hotly anticipating for such a long time, Bane. Now, I love Tom Hardy. He's definitely the up-and-coming actor that people need to keep an eye on. However, I was a bit disappointed in Bane. I lay the blame at Nolan's feet for the character development and overall writing for the villain, but I was never that terrified of him or what he was planning on doing, like with Liam Neeson's Ra's al Ghul from Batman Begins or Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight. Also, the whole Occupy Wall Street message that Bane was doing was laid on a little too thick for my taste. It contributed to my previous grievances of Nolan trying too hard to put too much into his last Batman film. On a seemingly unrelated subject, the 1978 smash hit musical Grease will be playing after Batman. Following the senior year of a group of friends at Rydell High, we are totally immersed in the 1950s nostalgia and musical wonderment. A very young and handsome John Travolta stars as Danny Zuko, who tries to keep his cool in front of his greaser friends while having to change his rebel lifestyle for the Australian beauty Olivia Newton-John's Sandy Olsen. The stellar supporting cast really rounds out the film and makes all of the big dance numbers a rousing collaborative effort. Transcending time itself, the story of Grease is still relevant in today's culture, dealing with the same issues kids in high school face every day, like friendships, loyalty, relationships, and sex. And wow, there is a lot of sex in Grease. While there's no clear nudity on screen, the amount of innuendos is baffling after not having seen this film in about 5 years. However, I found myself still singing right along to all the classic songs like Summer Nights, Grease Lightning, and You're the One That I Want. Grease is a musical that will turn all those macho men out there to become a musical lover. It was my first musical, and I can't think of a better combination of film, music, and dance all around. So what will you be seeing this weekend? This is where I come in. The Dark Knight Rises. It really is a must-see film, no matter how good or bad people tell you it is. Besides the fact that Nolan has revolutionized the way Hollywood makes and will continue to make a superhero for the next 20 years, the third movie in a trilogy is always necessary to watch so you can finally get a closure with the story from the previous two films. Grease, on the other hand, provides a full story with fun characters and plenty of entertainment. I would recommend putting on your dancing shoes and seeing Grease on the big screen for the first time in your life. Now, no matter what you decide to watch this weekend, I can guarantee that you will have a good time at the Johnson Center Cinema. Showtimes for The Dark Knight Rises are 9 p.m. on Thursday, 6 and 9 on Friday, and 6 on Saturday. Grease will be showing at 9 on Saturday and 6 on Sunday. Thanks for tuning in. Watch for me next week when we'll be discussing Wes Anderson's latest indie smash hit, Moonrise Kingdom. Have a great night.